was the perfect person. I was like central casting.
Hey, you know what? And he's central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
And these are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General.
Central casting.
Very impressive. Oh, you're central casting. Look at this guy. This man's central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting. He's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting.
They're central casting, the red suspenders, handsome, beautiful, smart. You couldn't get better central casting.
He is great in every way, and he's central casting. I mean, this is a man that was born for the position.
Though he was central casting like the perfect Supreme Court judge. These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people. And they're central casting. I've never seen a group of people like this. Everyone's in perfect shape.
My friend, central casting, I always call him central casting. Boy, is that central.
What is meant by central casting? Britannica Dictionary definition of central casting, non-count informal, the department at a movie company that chooses which actor will play each part. Someone who is said to be from, out of central casting is a person whose appearance, behaviour or nature seem to be typical for their job or position. Q Post 461, January 4th, 2018, 12:54 a.m. Eastern. What makes a movie and movies highlighted in red? Good, great actors. Q. Central Casting is an American casting company with offices in Los Angeles, New York, Georgia, and Louisiana that specializes in the casting of extras, body doubles, and stand-ins. Q Post 1450, June 11, 2018, 11:41 a.m. EDT. Gardens by the Bay. See previous pic. Timestamp. Coincidence. Everything shown has meaning. You are watching, and watching has been highlighted in red, a scripted movie. Q.
What I want to do is, and what I will do just sometime prior to the 9th, is we'll send a letter to all these countries. There's 200 countries. You can't talk to all of them, no matter how many people you have. You can't talk to all of them. We'll send a letter and we'll say we would consider it a great honor, and this is what you'll have to do to shop in the United States. We're like a department store, to shop in the United States, and you'll pay a 25% tariff, and we wish you a lot of luck. And that's the end of the trade deal, because we have something that nobody has. But if I didn't get elected, I'm telling you, we wouldn't have had a country left. You know that better than anybody. Nobody covers it better than you. If I didn't turn this thing around, this big ship around, we turned it around. Just like those ships coming out of China, they were coming and loaded, and in the middle of the ocean, they were forced to go back because at 145% tariff, Walmart, nobody wanted their product. And that caused a big problem for China. And then I helped China. So by reducing it.
We still don't know. We don't have the clarity on what you're going to do with these expiration of these pauses. July 9?
No, I thought I just said it. No, I thought I just said it. You ready?
You're going to send letters.
I'm going to send letters. That's the end of the trade deal. I could send one to Japan. Dear Mr. Japan, here's the story. You're going to pay a 25% tariff on your cars, So we give Japan no.
Signing an executive order to terminate the United States sanctions program on Syria. And this is in an effort to promote and support the country's path to stability and peace. The order will remove sanctions on Syria while maintaining sanctions on the former President Assad, his associates, human rights abusers, drug traffickers, persons linked to chemical weapons activities, ISIS and their affiliates, and Iranian proxies. And this is, again, an action that the president promised and shocked the world with in Saudi Arabia, because he's committed to supporting a Syria that is stable, unified, and at peace with itself and its neighbors. The president met with Syria's new president when we were in the Middle East, as you know. And so this is another promise made and promise kept by this president to promote peace and stability in the region.
Those pilots were so courageous, and, you want to honor them. Are you going to do something for them?
Yes, they're going to come to the White House. But what you said is right. These people flew 36 hours in a small space, a big plane, but a small space that was mostly occupied by bombs. And they flew so brilliantly, and they hit a target the size of this circle. A little target, they say half the size of a refrigerator door, from 50,000 feet up in the air, going at a rapid speed because they're going very fast when they're over a pretty rough territory, and they hit it every single time, and then they knocked out 2 other sites aside from that.
All his managers effing Zionists. This is a person who is calling for basically the destruction of Israel and Jewish Americans. The Trump administration is not going to allow anti-Semitism to exist in this country. And as head of the Department of Justice task force, I can guarantee you, Martha, and the American people, we're going to eliminate anti-Semitic conduct. We got marching orders from Pam Bondi, Harmeet Dillon, and President Trump. And that's why I'm here today. And I'm telling you that anti-Semitism is not going to happen. And people who want to come in this country on a visa will not be allowed to enter this country if they have anti-Semitic mindset with the intention to incite violence. I want to thank the Secretary of State Department for moving so fast on this, because we were on this over the weekend, Martha, and we sent that letter immediately to the Secretary of State's office this morning at 8 o'clock.
News. President of the Republic from Seville. Iraq is witnessing security, stability, and economic progress today. Guys, I'm going to keep pushing on these, because these are some of the sound bites we were told to look for: safe, stable, secure, so that they could change their values. So every time I see that, I'm just going to point it out, because Shabibi told us, as soon as we're safe and stable, I'm going to give you a new dinar. Budgets behind the walls of the government awaiting release. Parliament is waiting. They're now saying that it is complete and Soudani is to release it. I've told you my theory before. Soudani has been holding this on purpose for a rate change. I firmly believe that it's the thing that makes the most sense. And usually the thing that makes the most sense is the correct answer. Overwhelmingly often. The radical solution to salary crisis in Kurdistan, former MP, parliamentary member, requires emiratization to break the cycle of crisis. In other words, all the money goes through Baghdad, federal bank accounts. You get your automatic electronic deposit. Erbil claiming that Baghdad wants 150 billion dinar in taxes each month when they're only bringing in 60 billion, which is, well, doesn't match the production rates that they are seeing and tracking. So somebody's lying. Erbil. Not that Baghdad's totally without fault in this one, but they've gotten so used to being able to do what they want and line their pockets with millions of dollars a day. Look for that cleanup, and I think you're going to see it this week. On news early on, which is very unusual for a Monday, but the short of it, some people with some historic assets. I've got a couple of people with historic assets right now, different deals. Some of them as much as $1 trillion that are, they have really tweaked them up with travel arrangements, handoffs, schedules for this week. So for me, I'm very upbeat, tentatively upbeat. I've been upbeat before and let down. So I'm staying calm, but it's feeling good.
For my sources, according to Tony from TNT, who went on a half an hour before us, we came on late just because of everything Jen's been going through. So
yeah, I woke up late.
Yeah, and you just needed the rest.
It's time for the Jens.
If you have a subscription, according to Tony, if you have a subscription to Bloomberg, if you do, you'll be able to see it on 4X. Because the thing is, you can see a rate without seeing on 4X. The key issue here is that if it's on the 4X, that is supposedly the first time in 22 years it's been on the 4X. Tony also said he'll be going live to give us our 800 numbers within the next 4 hours. That would be by 2 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. He also said we will be at the bank tomorrow. Now, he says banks, redemption centers, either way.
He's the same man.
Okay, so this is Gentel, interdimensional meditation for 6:30:25. Sixth level of heaven, Jesus and the Archangel team. The dress, I was not in a dress today. I was in armor. It's probably just me. All right, okay. So, RV News. Gabriel spoke. The dinar rate will post live on the Forex and then change. Other rates will pop up after that and change. The situation is fluid, he said. It may fluctuate up and down the rates. There is an internal war to influence the rates or stop the transition. That is what the delay has been, this back and forth war. Expect the possibility. Okay, no, rates. Okay, no, if there's an internal war to influence the rates or stop the transition, expect the possibility. The world is on high alert when it comes to this, and for any kind of backlash that would interrupt this process. Okay? Coming in the news, I saw boats tipping like personal boats, tipping or capsizing. Okay? Just keep an eye on the weather if you're going boating. I heard new prime minister. I saw groups of people stopping trains like a mob. Okay? I saw a stadium and I heard stadium evacuated. I don't know if that's because of weather or what that's going on. I was trying to get any information about anything that people could keep an eye out on to keep them safe. I saw military planes patrolling the skies in the USA. I heard ships stopped from coming ashore. Then this one, I don't know what this is. I kept hearing the word omni. O-M-N-I. Omni. And I don't know what that is about. And that's Gentel for today.
TNT Tony, I have transcribed good news. Supposedly Trump wanted to announce this with the big beautiful bill. Anyway, Soudani said at least give us 48 hours to Trump. So the date that Soudani is briefing on TV and telling all he can is that Iraq will have a new purchasing power on July 1st, 2025. Today was supposed to be the date, but Soudani asked President Trump for extra time. So here we are. It looks good. It looks great. Tony has been getting information all morning that it is done, that they have released it, that we will see it tomorrow. Then Tony got info that it was in the system right now, and they are ready to push the button as it is propagating. It is live right now on Bloomberg for the first time in 20 years at 13:10. Bloomberg and FX. Supposedly there is an announcement to be made in the next 4 hours that will change the rate to 3.47. Then there will be a live rate tomorrow for all of us to go to the bank. Tony says we should be jumping up and down, celebrating. We now know who held it up, why it was held up, but none of that matters because Tony says we are now there, and that is what matter. We are there. The rates are going to start at 3.45 because they want you to go down and then shoot up from there. Tony says it has nothing to do with our higher rates. He says none of the process has changed that he has been made aware of. Tony hopes that in the next 4 hours to get 800 numbers, and he hopes to do another call so you can start scheduling appointments for tomorrow. Tony says this is how it should work. Now that the banks are assured it is on Forex, because it is, where the banks can see it, we may not see it right now, but it only takes 2 minutes to propagate around the world. Forex has to go through its protocols, giving everyone that pending 2-hour window, give them time to adjust, shut down their systems, do what they need to do, and then rates pop up. Even though we may see it on Forex, they do not want us going to the bank until tomorrow. So that means we should get the 800 numbers tonight. This is what Tony told them. If you don't get me the 800 numbers, I will just do my next call and tell everyone to go to the bank, as it is a live rate and will have to be live sometime. He said he hopes that they send the 800 numbers so this can be done in an organized fashion and everyone can go get their money. I did not want to do this call right now, but so much info going back and forth very fast, and so many people excited. He wants to go over the procedures with us. We still have to wait for the actual event, but Soudani started it yesterday on television, telling his people on the next 2 days, but now today, Soudani is telling his people tomorrow. We know now he has flipped the switch as it is propagating. For people who pay on Bloomberg, you can see it. Rate of 13.10. First time in 20 years, and this is what the banks wanted to see. And then in the next 4 hours, they will make the decision to change the rate to 3.47. You can go and get your champagne and jump up and down and start going through your list. Awesome. Hi HEZ friends, we'll know soon enough. As Ginger noted above, the official rate change announcement is expected to be released at 6:55 a.m. Baghdad time, 7/1/25. US banks reportedly received the memo at 9 a.m. this morning along with a pre-recorded message from Sudani. That moment is just 20 minutes away from the time I'm posting this. I pray it is so. We will post more as it becomes available. Stay calm, stay grounded. We are not at the bank yet. A to Z, Angela. Today's Herbal Baghdad meeting over KRG salaries and oil resumption is initiated and has been mediated by the US, with a US diplomat present at the talks. US appears to be pressing Baghdad to release KRG salaries as soon as possible, as public anger continues to mount across Kurdistan over 2 months of unpaid wages, which has also significantly disrupted market activity and overall economic movement in the region. The US position seems to be allow a partial restart of KRG oil exports, but only from select fields and through the KRG operated pipeline, not the Iraq-controlled Kirkuk-Cayenne route. And posted by Kurdistan Watch on X. Donald J. Trump on Truth. So it's highlighted here. Jerome, too late, Powell and his entire board should be ashamed of themselves for allowing this to happen to the United States. They have one of the easiest yet most prestigious jobs in America, and they have failed and continue to do so. If they were doing their job properly, our country would be saving trillions of dollars in interest cost. The board just sits there and watches, so they are equally to blame. We should be paying 1% interest or better. So he's written a note and given a screenshot of 44 nations, where the nations, 34 nations, charge interest highest at 4.40%. Switzerland is the lowest at 0.25%. Zoom News posted on X, 4:59 a.m. 6/30/25. The meetings between the Iraqi government and the Kurdistan Regional Government (KRG) will conclude today, with draft agreements set to be presented to the Iraqi Council of Ministers on Tuesday, paving the way for the resumption of oil exports and the disbursement of civil servant salaries in the Kurdistan region. Sources familiar with the matter told Zoom News. This is a screenshot of xe.com for the rates, in particular IQD, Iraqi dinar, and it's been highlighted. Notice, IQD may be redenominated. US President Trump to sign executive order to remove all sanctions on Syria, posted by @BRICS News. US and India to announce new trade deal very soon, posted by @WatcherGuru. 06/30/2025. The US State Department, we are committed to transforming the Middle East so that people can live in peace. MOONSOON posted on X. Alert. Breaking. Iraq's PM al-Sudani is drowning in corruption. Allegations are piling up, selling oil to fund Iran-backed PMF militias despite US sanctions. He's desperate for an Iraqi dinar, IQD revaluation RV, before his time runs out, but his double-dealing might cost him big time. Rumours are swirling that he could be ousted soon, along with the PMF militias, before any RV happens. The Iraqi people have suffered enough: poverty, broken healthcare, and a crumbling education system, all while militia leaders flaunt armoured convoys. Al-Sudani's ties to Iran might have pushed him too far, alienating allies and fueling calls for his removal. So, will IQD-RV with Sudani in power? Honestly, it's a coin toss. His corruption and pro-Iran stance could derail the RV unless he cleans the house fast. If the US ramps up pressure or Iraq's elites turn on him, he might not last long enough to see it. Data suggests stability is key for an RV, and his actions are doing the opposite. If he's removed, a new leader might push for it, but only if the PMF is dismantled first. What do you think?
Hi guys, it's Wolver here, guys. You've been listening to the news. It's just absolutely amazing. We're finally actually about to cross that finish line, right? The Pentecostal group is ready now, guys. They're about to actually now to release those funds to the leaders. The owner of that particular platform made an audio which was very emotional and said that to thank everyone for all the support. And it's been hard on her because she's been actually under investigation by these evil people, right? And she's had her face and her family on social media as a scammer, and they had a reporter actually from Spain and did a report on her that she was a scammer, and all this sort of thing that they try to target and try to destroy this lady. But she's never actually quit. She never quit, right? She had a stroke. She was in the hospital, right? But she was still there. She never gave up because she knew this was real, right? Now they're getting ready now, right? And it was a very emotional. It got to me as well, you know, because it's been hard on all of us, you know. People like me, Mike, Jen, Bruce, MARKZ, and everyone, you know, we've been through so much just to try and get those messages across to you guys. It hasn't been easy. So we finally now we're about to cross that finish line and get our lives back to normal. All right? So God bless you, right? And hopefully we get those notifications coming in today. As soon as they come in, that opera will come out as soon as possible. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
This intel was forwarded by Scott Brunswick, who, oh my gosh, he has a lot of access to the information on what's really happening, but some of the information was is not ready for the eyes of many. Anyway, I thought I'd just skip to the part about the QFS. So I'll just read this part. This is some very good information from a person who is in the know. Your QFS account is for yourself and not a joint account with your spouse, children, or parents, but details will be announced once we know how it works clause. When you are a child, your parents cannot access your account except for the following reasons. Now, if you have a parent, child, or spouse who needs care and can't access the account, there will be no requirement that you be 21 to access your QFS account, as some younger people may want to move out and even get married to access these funds. But you must be only 18 years old. Through EBS, you will discover that you have a quantum financial system account that has earned interest on your birth certificate and has a lot of money in it. Funds from your bank and credit union will be transferred to your QFS account once you have access to your QFS account. Homeless people need to be notified early so they can go to a designated location to access a QFS account with a temporary address to then find their own place to live and restart their lives. People who go to prison must pay their prison expenses from their QFS account. If there's a death in the family, it is unclear whether the money in the QFS account will be transferred to other family members or if the QFS account will be closed because everyone else has enough money of their own. Me. I don't think it will get to the point where you have to have a fingerprint or DNA match to access, but if you lose your card, you will have to verify yourself to get a new card. And Bruce said that you need your biometric fingerprint. Okay. Note, the older the person, the more interest income tax refund payments will go into their QFS account. The above UBI level is in the US. Other countries will have corresponding levels. Oh, I know who this person is, Ben Fulford. Other recent accomplishments by Trump and his administration. In the first comment, 1. Medbed centers were now protected nationally by RFK Jr.'s Scientific Advisory Board. I thought it was the Secret Space Center. Secret Space, US Secret Space. Anyway, what do I know? 2. The Supreme Court has given Trump the authority to remove people from unelected organizations like the Department of Justice, CDC, and DHS. 3. Weather warfare patents, HARP, chemtrails, and scalar systems have been declassified. 4. Influence of the evil WHO and WIF on American health policy has been exposed, and 5. A Supreme Court 2024 ruling struck down 1512C2 and shattered the Department of Justice's legal foundation. Over 300 possibly unjust convictions now face reversal. Passage of the beautiful bill would effectively eliminate the fiat US dollar and erase illegitimate debt and interest linked to fiat currency, JBIA. A huge step will be taken toward freedom and independence for the common citizen when Trump's great big beautiful bill is finally passed by Congress. Such will complete demise of the deep state globalists, Federal Reserve and IRS, already ruined by the military reclamation of $17 trillion worth of gold from Asia and Europe. The stolen gold was returned to safe depositories around the world, but mainly to the new US Treasury, where it made the new gold asset-backed US note become part of the world's quantum financial system, JBIA. Trump and his global military alliance has destroyed the Khazarian mafia, infrastructure ingrained into the Vatican, UK Crown, mainstream media, Hollywood, education system, agricultural controllers, big pharma, and the worldwide central banking system, JBIA. Could at least give the full name. Destruction of our God-given freedoms began back in 1871 when the deep state globalists, US Inc., UK Crown, Vatican, and their ancient descendants, the Khazarian Mafia, changed the constitution for their own carnal desires. Past deep state cabal, US Inc. administrations such as Obama and Biden's have been funded by global bankers, advised by foreign think tanks, and infiltrated by Five Eyes intelligence. Their mission was simple: criminalize opposition, erase sovereignty, and preserve control over elections, speech, and resistance. Thanks to Trump and the global military alliance, they failed. Also by JBIA. On Friday, July 4th, 2025, Independence Day, President Donald J. Trump is expected to legally restore the constitutional organic republic, which would officially dissolve the foreign banker-controlled U.S. corporation, along with their Federal Reserve and IRS, JBIA. Trump green-lighted global currency reset of 209 nations to gold-backed currencies to reinstate original constitution, dissolve Federal Reserve and IRS on Friday, 4th July. Sunday, terrorist bomb Washington, D.C. and L. Shoot Idaho firefighters, police. Large anti-scale barricades installed around White House and U.S. Treasury. Expect riots, martial law, global blackout. Also JBIA. Caitlin Clark. Check out her eyes. All professional sports are rigged, just like a WWE script, etc., etc. No misspellings or typos, intentional for algorithms to ward off Facebook patrol. Well, that took 8 minutes 44. No, hold on, 42. Sheesh, that was long. If I finished reading the whole thing, it would have taken me like 20 minutes. June 30th, 2025. The universe is saying to you today, stand tall and believe in your own extraordinary strengths and unique talents. You will be amazed at what you can do and achieve. Believe in yourself. You got this. By Healing Energy Tools.